Every year without fail, Hollywood and other foreign markets bring unforgettable cinematic experiences to the masses, feeding our senses with creativity, imagination, and in rare instances, the impossible. In many cases, we're spoiled when it comes to live-action offerings, but what about animation? Today, we're looking back at the year 2005, the year Tom Cruise declared his love for Katie Holmes by jumping on Oprah's couch. System of a Down unleashed the dual threat of their companion albums Mesmerize and Hypnotize, and social media sites like Facebook and MySpace expanded to include high school students, ushering in the era of friend slop. Looking back, there are any number of wild pop culture milestones to mark the year Destiny's Child called it quits. But today, we're setting our sights on the greatest animated films of 2005, with a top 5 list that's sure to make you feel nostalgic and appreciative of the leaps we've made in the cinematic art form since then. Before we get started, I'm wondering if there was something in the water while producing films for 2005, because this year is, by far, the most underwhelming on both sides of the aisle regarding animated films that stand the test of time, or even move the needle in the grand scheme. Still, we've got a job to do, and after careful consideration, I've selected the best of the bunch in a grim year with few exceptions. Let's begin by brushing the dust off 5 animated features that remain memorable, unique, and in one special case, outstanding, in the year society was forced to choose between Team Jolie and Team Aniston. Number 5. Madagascar. Before animated movies like Goat and Zootopia dazzled audiences with anthropomorphic animal antics, Madagascar from DreamWorks Animation took the world by storm, earning a staggering $542 million at the global box office. Starring the voices of Ben Stiller, Chris Rock, Jada Pinkett Smith, David Schwimmer, Sacha Baron Cohen, and Cedric the Entertainer, Madagascar revolved around a group of animals who've spent their lives in a New York City zoo before Marty, a zebra, with ambitions beyond wrought iron gates of incarceration, convinces them to join him on a journey to the wild, where freedom and infinite possibilities await. While Marty's desire to escape the zoo is admirable, the group encounters one pitfall after another on their way to the outback, sowing doubt among the inseparable group. Looking back on Madagascar, the film feels like it comes from a bygone era. But one thing remains clear and constant: Madagascar was funny. The writing in Madagascar still slaps, with the core cast lending engaging chemistry to a tale of everlasting friendships, following your dreams, and breaking the chains that keep us sated, docile, and never challenging ourselves. Plus, the penguins are a laugh riot. They remind me of scheming, tough guy minions, but far more calculated in their capering and mischief. Even though Madagascar 2 is better than the original, it's important to remember your roots, and Madagascar is a delightful romp that's worth revisiting when you're watching The Neighbor's Kids or stuck in a pediatric ward waiting room.
Wait a second, we can't call the people. What the?
Number 4. Hoodwinked. It's easy to judge a film as inferior when the animation is as mid as it is in Hoodwinked. One of the first independent CGI films, analysts dispute the budget at anywhere from $8 to $30 million, and honestly, it shows. But if you can look past the N64 quality visuals, Hoodwinked has a pretty damn good story that uses the same non-linear structure as Akira Kurosawa's Rashomon and The Usual Suspects, blending it into a world of nursery rhyme and fairy tale characters. With a cast led by Anne Hathaway, Patrick Warburton, Glenn Close, Jim Belushi, Anthony Anderson, Exhibit, and The Usual Suspects' own Chaz Palminteri, there are some hilarious pop culture references embedded in a pretty complex story for a film aimed at small children. While Hoodwinked suffers from dead-eyed stares and limited character mobility, the film organically blends slapstick antics with wry dialogue, creating a comedic blend that offers laughs for audience members of all ages. Like 2001 Shrek, Hoodwinked makes great use of its fairy tale characters, even going so far as to have them join forces to solve a mystery rather than bicker and drag the movie down with unresolved grudges and age-old stereotypes. If you can stomach the simplistic, muddy visuals, Hoodwinked is better than you remember, and a fun way to engage with characters that stand the test of time as much as any cautionary tale passed down through generations. Number 3. Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. After experiencing the visually compelling letdown that was 2001's Final Fantasy The Spirits Within, the promise of a real-deal animated feature that would bring the beloved characters from Final Fantasy VII to life on the big screen felt too good to be true. Thankfully, Square Enix and Visual Works listened to the backlash to The Spirits Within and approached Advent Children with the intention of giving fans what they wanted. In Advent Children, an ex-mercenary known as Cloud Strife is forced out of isolation when 3 mysterious men kidnap and brainwash the city's children afflicted with the geostigma disease. It turns out that Kadaj, Laz, and Yazoo are the physical manifestations of Sephiroth's surviving spirit, looking to resurrect him using the remains of the extraterrestrial villain, Genova. While the story is fairly standard for a Final Fantasy title, the most significant draw of Advent Children is seeing Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, Barret, Yuffie, and the rest of the Final Fantasy VII Resistance fighters on the big screen, creating the most epic Final Fantasy cutscene ever. With so many titles in the Final Fantasy series, it's nothing short of incredible how Cloud and the gang have continued to shine through each iteration, with fans continuously clamoring for more from the franchise's poster children. Number 2. Corpse Bride. The mind of Tim Burton is a twisted tangle of genius and artistic vision. While not every live-action offering from the frizzy-haired filmmaker is a banger, the triple threat of The Nightmare Before Christmas, Corpse Bride, and Frankenweenie is a phenomenon that audiences cannot deny. Burton's gothic style immediately establishes itself with character and atmosphere, making his creations recognizable from any vantage point. His worlds drip with distinction that makes them shine like a full moon, hanging like white fire in the sky. When a shy groom practices his wedding vows in the inadvertent presence of a deceased young woman, she rises from the grave, assuming he has married her. Starring Johnny Depp, Helena Bonham Carter, Emily Watson, Tracy Ullman, Christopher Lee, and more, Corpse Bride invites audiences into a dark and disturbing supernatural period drama that takes all the lessons learned from Nightmare and refines them to a razor-sharp point. Despite Nightmare remaining Burton's definitive exploration of animation, Corpse Bride is a cult favorite among goths and the cosplay community alike, and you better believe that Spirit Halloween gets in on the action every year. When film historians look back on Burton's extensive career, Corpse Bride will rise from the grave as a glittering gem in the filmmaker's ornate crown of stop-motion animated oddities that last the test of time. Number 1. Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of Were-Rabbit. Aardman Animation's Wallace and Gromit aren't just characters, they're an institution. The duo appeared in the short A Grand Day Out in 1989, bringing smiles, laughs, and an unabashed love for cheese to animation enthusiasts worldwide. After years of making mischief on the small screen, the duo starred in their first feature-length film, Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of Were-Rabbit. The hilarious stop-motion animated comedy finds Wallace and his loyal dog, Gromit, uncovering the mystery behind the garden sabotage plaguing their village and threatening the annual giant vegetable growing contest. Overflowing with Aardman's off-kilter yet endearing visual style, slapstick antics, and wry comedic wit. The Curse of Were-Rabbit is somehow a mixture of Halloween and Easter-related madness, as a cuddly creature transforms into a hulking beast with an insatiable appetite for garden vegetables. No one's prized pumpkins are safe, so long as the were-rabbit stalks the carefully manicured soil with gnashing bucked teeth and dirt-covered toe beans. Using their knack for invention and the power of friendship, Wallace and Gromit go to great lengths to solve the mystery of the were-rabbit and put a stop to vegetable theft and property destruction in their quaint town of busybodies and turophiles.
Veg bad. Veg bad.
There you have it, folks. What do you think about our top 5 animated films of 2005 list? Are your favorite films represented here? Are there any grievous omissions? Leave us a comment and let us know what your top 5 animated films of 2005 are. Until next time, cheers.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.